All right, Keaton, let's do something festive and cool. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
I quite like that.
Thank
Welcome to today's festive
Holiday
episode. Yeah, it's our holiday episode.
Happy
holiday
holidays, dear viewers.
Yes, this will be going up on Christmas. And when you be hearing this, Happy Christmas, Merry Christmas, whatever it is. I keep forgetting that Happy Christmas is sacrilege to say.
So, the word of the day today will be eggnog.
Eggnog is the word of the day. And
our dear co-host, Asa, has never had eggnog before.
I have never tried eggnog in my life.
So,
The closest I got was smelling it at a holiday party that was around the other day. I just
Yeah.
it smells all right.
Let me...
Get that ASMR crack. It's getting there.
Once you get all
being
over
stubborn.
the mic,
Yeah.
that would feel horrible.
Oh, it'd be all right. It's
for
all
the
right.
bit.
It's for the bit.
Let me
Just have to commit. And we'll
let me
have
shake that up a little bit.
Open up our butter cookies, with which we will be using as a spoon for our eggnog. Beautiful sound, beautiful.
We'll fill it up about halfway, you'd say.
That feels right. As long as we have the ability to get down in there and,
Yeah, we
and
gotta
dip cookies.
have proper dipping amounts.
Proper dipping.
So we've got ourselves butter cookies and also Twinkies.
Yes, we're going to be trying these throughout the course of the episode.
Yeah, we'll wait a little bit on the Twinkies.
Yes, definitely. Well, here it is. It's a relatively nice color.
So what's the smell review?
The smell review, my immediate first impression, it kind of smells like a sponge with dish soap in it. That's my immediate first impression.
Yeah,
It is a good start. It's brave. Perhaps we will let's give it a try and see how it goes. Hopefully I enjoy this. Cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers to the holidays. Cheers to you all. I'll dink the mic. Boop. Go ahead and cheers me up on that. Here we go. It's good to have in the back pocket a good party saver. Something that you can always bust out and enjoy while the fireplace is going and the living room is coated in a warm sepia. Friends are out in the kitchen, socializing, outside, all around. Family running around. And it's lovely. And eggnog is the center of all of it. So you know what? We appreciate eggnog. Thank it for everything it gives us. Thank you, eggnog.
What are your thoughts?
That is quite nice.
You like it?
I enjoy that.
Yeah.
I think that's not bad at all. That tastes like nothing I've ever had. I can't even compare that to something.
Really? That's very interesting.
I've never tried anything like that. It tastes almost exactly like it smells, but it tastes good.
Yeah.
Like that's a good thing.
It doesn't taste like a soapy sponge.
No, it does not taste like a soapy sponge, and I appreciate that greatly. Trying it with the butter cookie, I also haven't had a butter cookie in many moons. It has been a very long time.
Yeah, they're very
We'll
good.
give that a bit of a dip in the cookie.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
And when you dip cookies in something, trying to get that all out coherently. When you dip cookies in something, are you the kind that just like gets a coat of whatever it is on there just to moisten it, or you let it soak?
Let it soak.
Optimal.
I get it. The most satisfying thing is when you get it to the most soft before it collapses upon itself.
Oh my gosh. You're
And there's
genius.
nothing more depressing than whenever it does it prematurely.
And it does, and it's just like, I worked so hard. I brought it down to a science so much that when I dip my Oreos in milk, I make sure that...
You also count?
Huh?
Do you also count?
I do not count. That is another level of science that I have not achieved. But what I have done is I take a little tiny bite out of the cookie so that It's more
So
porous.
it absorbs?
And it
Yes,
absorbs better.
I do the same thing.
Look at that. You're ahead of the game.
I do the same thing and I count.
And you count. I got to start counting. What's your time estimate for
I
the
don't know.
perfect?
Usually I time the first one because I forget every time. I time the first one and then I see to right when it falls. And then I go about 5 seconds before that.
That's smart. That's perfect moistening level. Because at that point, in that 5 second window, when you're flying too close to the sun there, and your wax wings are melting and falling into the bottom of your glass of milk, you pick it up out.
Would you like some more?
I've got a full cup. I think I'll chill for a little bit.
There's not a whole lot in here.
Not a ton. These are relatively big cups, so I think the dippage distance.
Yeah, you can.
We had to fill up.
As long as it fits in the depth, it'll fit in the width with these cups.
That's true.
My least favorite thing is having to get sacrificial milk. That is only used for dipping.
And you have to drink it.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't want to drink it.
This wasn't my goal.
Yeah, it's like I just wanted to dip the milk, but now I'm forced to throw away perfectly good milk.
Ugh. Or drink it, which if you're not in the mood to drink milk, you can't. It's impossible
That's
to.
true.
I don't know what
There's
about
a
it
Goldberg's episode that one of the characters has to drink an entire gallon of milk in like 30 seconds or something like that. And I find out that it's like terrible.
Have you ever drank milk straight from the carton?
No,
It is bad.
No,
I love milk.
That sounds terrible.
It's just bad.
The little crusties on milk freak me out.
Oh my gosh. I'm glad you got me started on that. Have you ever, like, when you open it...
Have you ever got them in your drink? That's the
Yes,
worst part.
it's the worst feeling because I know it's somewhere in there. And if I feel it in my tongue or anything...
What exactly is it?
I think it's just, like, dried up, crusted milk.
Mm-hmm. Do you think it re-moisturizes itself whenever it gets into
That's
the
my
liquid?
thought sometimes is because
it never shows back up.
It never shows back up. I'm looking for it. I'm seeking it and feeling it out.
Yeah.
And it just disappears. Maybe it's milk. Just add milk.
Dehydrated milk.
Dehydrated milk. Powdered milk is something that is
So
interesting.
an interesting thing I've noticed with these exact cookies, with a glass of milk, these are Chessman. What's the brand?
Yeah, Pepper Ridge Farms.
Chessman butter cookies.
Mm-hmm.
But with milk, these actually absorb quite well. With the eggnog, I'm having trouble getting them to absorb.
I think it's a consistency.
Yeah.
Because this eggnog is definitely thicker.
I noticed the same thing with chocolate milk. Chocolate milk doesn't absorb into cookies as well, and I think it's too thick.
I think it is, especially like the chocolate milk that comes as chocolate milk and you don't put syrup in it.
There's something about that chocolate milk that's different than any other chocolate milk. Like, there's something about the way it looks when you pour it.
Yeah,
it looks like oil.
It does. It just like...
The eggnog looked the same way. It looked like oil.
Because it's like, it doesn't splash or like flow.
No,
it just pours and grows.
It pours into itself.
It does. It's so weird. I think one of the funny things, whenever like the chocolate milk machine's here, if you ever watch it, when it goes in, all of the bubbles that it like creates get sucked into this vortex. And then when you stop pouring it, then they all float to the top. They don't go to the top immediately because it just goes into itself.
It's a very interesting system.
It's a weird phenomenon, but I think it just has to do with the viscosity of it.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of that, I thought eggnog was a lot thicker.
Really? It's pretty thick.
I thought it was like
This is a
pudding consistency.
Oh, so you thought like you had to eat it with a spoon?
Kind of, yeah. I didn't.
Okay.
I knew it was a drink, but I thought it was like that was a type of eggnog that you could drink.
Yeah.
You know? But no, it's just like this. It says right there on the carton, classic eggnog. So it has to be.
It's the original, the best, the only.
But it is very interesting because I mean, I've been to a lot of holiday parties. Mm-hmm. I don't know how I've never even like seen it there.
Yeah. Usually it's spiked.
That's fair. That's a good reason as to why.
So you might not have.
Oh, that's why they're Chessman cookies.
Yeah, because they have chess people on them.
Well, I saw the first one and it was the rook, and I just thought they were all the rook.
Oh yeah.
But no, this is the queen. My next one's the pawn.
I bet this would be fun. I wonder if you could play a whole game with these.
And as soon as you lose your piece, you eat it.
That's good.
That's not a bad idea. We've got only one more set of chess pieces left in the bag.
It's probably too late to test out our theory.
It is now, but it was a novel thought.
Yeah, I bet not because you have to have like 8 pawns.
That's true. We only have. We'll split one pawn into 8 pieces.
A little butter knife.
They're little tiny people.
We should probably get onto our topics.
Yeah, our
If
topics.
you want to pull out the prompts, we hung out a lot earlier today.
Yeah.
And we started many conversations that we said, wait, we need to shut up and wait, save them for the podcast.
Because we had good stories going on, and we were just like, we can't. As much as I want to talk about this,
I want to hear
the people
for the
have
first
to hear
time
it.
on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which we'll get into. But the
Let's
first
start
one,
with the tarot card.
Yeah. Is it tarot or tarot? Don't know. I think we said we'd look it up on the podcast if it's live. Is it tarot?
I think it's tarot.
I think it is also tarot. How do you use tarot versus... Oh, look at that. The IPA, the International Phonetic Alphabet for it, does not have a T at the end of the letter. Okay. It ends at tarot.
Oh, there you go. That's
so
our answer.
That T is null and void. Which, fun fact about that, the word valet is actually pronounced valet.
Oh, really?
It's not a French word. The reason words like ballet and stuff like that is because they're imported from French, from the French language.
Yeah, I knew that.
So we say that. But
valet.
valet...
Do you think valet was just something that everyone thought was French?
They probably did, because, I mean, it had that ET, and everyone just said valet. But yeah, it is actually pronounced valet, but no one in the history will ever be pronouncing it valet. I'm sure it will not be normalized.
It's very interesting.
But now you know, and you can correct everybody who says it. And should you ever be around a place that uses a valet system, which I've been once to, and it was at a wedding.
Casinos do.
I've been to one casino.
My grandma used to go to the casino all the time. She would leave me in the car.
Oh, you got valeted away. Oh, I dropped it.
Oh no!
I dropped a portion.
You didn't count.
It's okay. I didn't count. I dropped it from sky high. I didn't even need to count. Okay, I got it. I fished it out with a recovery bit. But here, so tarot cards.
Sure you don't want any more?
Are you gonna top it off if I say no more? Oh, it's all right. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
All right. Okay. I'll take a little bit more. I'm in the holiday spirit.
Tell me when.
When? Because I don't believe there's any left. You got a splash of eggnog left.
There was definitely a weird solidified chunk going on there.
Oh, lovely. That's the egg.
It's just a full egg in there.
But tarot
I
cards.
wonder how quiet this mic is. So we just got a mic.
Yeah, we did. I just purchased a mic. Black Friday was recently, and it was on sale for $70 off its current price.
Heck yeah.
And I said, well, I'm going to capitalize off of that, and I sure did. It's a very pretty one. There's a lot of experimenting to be done with it, for sure. And if we wanted to, we can turn the gain up already, and we hear louder sounds.
Well, there you go. That way, whenever our editor turns up the volume, he's going to have to change it.
He's going to have to change it, and it'll be perfectly okay.
Oh, well.
Because that's what we pay him for. Thanks.
He's been name outed.
He's been name outed.
Well, watch him censor his own name.
He has the power to do so. He's our editor.
That would be funny.
He'll censor it with some random word. A code word that he's came up with.
Carl.
It's like the weird, auto-generate, or the AI text-to-speech thing.
Carl.
Hey,
Carl.
Can you edit this out in post?
Yeah, and his name is definitely
Carl.
That would be so funny.
Okay, to your tarot story.
Tarot cards.
Yeah.
Really, the only story I have about it was that I did one reading. I did a tarot card reading once. I don't think, it's kind of that whole astrology sort of bit, in the same category of, mystical endeavors. I don't know how believing I am in it. I think there are cool things about it, and I think it's kind of a fun sort of thing to do. Mm-hmm. But I will admit, the one reading that I had was very interesting to listen to, because it really didn't even take a lot of leaps and bounds in logic. It was just kind of there. Mm-hmm. And that's what scared me a little bit.
So what did it say?
It was the question, I believe, that was asked. I don't know. Actually, no, there wasn't a question. That's what it was. Mm-hmm. It wasn't a question. I just asked for a general reading, and whatever happened was the dealer, who was a friend of mine, still is, let the tarot cards, they would shuffle the cards, mm-hmm. pick them out occasionally, but if a card ever fell out of the deck on its own, mm-hmm. that card was picked because it was chosen to fall out of the deck.
Ah, yeah.
And I thought that was kind of a cool little principle.
Yeah.
Oh, I've almost forgot that I was soaking this in eggnog.
I haven't gotten mine to get soft yet. Hasn't happened.
That one got pretty soft.
Yeah.
It was all right because I forgot about it. But It was interesting, and I think it was just a general recap of things that had gone on in my life up until that point, and it like, at that point, I was fighting with my parents. I had just gone through a breakup. Like, all my friends were moving away from me because I just went to college.
How recent was this?
This was a year ago. This was a pretty much a full calendar year.
Full rotation of the Earth ago.
A full rotation of the Earth ago, because I was a wee
year
freshman.
And 1/4.
Yeah, we got there. I was a wee lad.
Yeah.
Going into college, a wee lad at 18, and it was just really interesting because I mean it had cards that fell out and pulled to and like found the right words to describe it. It was just really interesting, and I think it probably scared me a little bit at the time because like there were certain things that were like dead on accurate, and I was like, these are cards. How are they doing? These are cards. I don't know. It's just kind of interesting to believe in something like that where it's like.
I'm a firm believer of if you look at something hard enough and you want to believe in it, it'll look like it's true.
Confirmation bias is a huge part of especially like astrology stuff where it's like.
That's how I feel about like if somebody. I think I'm a Gemini, and I've been accused several times. Well, not. Because I haven't given any examples of this, but there's been people that's like, "Oh, you're a Gemini, you must be two-faced."
Yeah, it's like
nope, I'm me.
I'm just me. I know.
There's nothing that interesting about me.
Very distinctly, I'm a Leo, and apparently that just means I'm a terrible person.
I would agree.
Oh,
I'm kidding.
Oh, my feelings are destroyed. The holiday spirit is ruined.
I'll drink eggnog. The Scrooge will be taken out of me.
But I very distinctly remember a comment about like being one of 3 Leos that someone actually liked. And I was like, that's
so weird.
That's just like categorizing people into like I didn't control when I was born. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I mean, this isn't me.
It's just a weird. We're gonna open the Twinkies.
Oh yeah, the Twinkies. I forgot that those were. I think this will have the spongy potential to soak up eggnog substantially more.
Exactly what I was thinking. That's why I wanted to open them up and try it out.
I think it is going to be interesting.
Go ahead and grab yourself a Twinkie.
Grab a. I dinked the mic a little bit. That's all right. Does this slide out of the packaging, or can I? Oh no! Oh no!
Oh,
it's all right. Hey, I had to probably do that anyway, just to dip it. All right, time for the Twinkie reviews. In the eggnog, a Twinkie in the eggnog.
You've had Twinkies.
I've definitely had Twinkies before. They were a delicacy at my young age because they were like a name brand snack, and my family didn't do those.
You don't get those. Like
never ever. Those rich kids that sat at their own rich kid table got their eggnog, got their Twinkie.
Now,
oh, this is heavy. This is doubled in weight. I had that in there for like 1 second.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Oh my gosh! All right, here we go.
This is definitely gonna crumble.
It's a Twinkie flavored eggnog, like straight up. Oh my gosh! It's an eggnog flavored Twinkie.
I didn't even notice.
I wouldn't have. Oh my gosh, that's actually quite good.
I really enjoy this.
I think the Twinkie cream really complements
This might be my
that.
new dying in the middle of the night snack because I had Twinkies and eggnog.
This is my midnight snack. I've never eaten a midnight snack.
Because I commute. I'll get home at like 10 o'clock. And I'll have a snack. But that's like as close as I get.
Yeah, I feel like do you get home, have a snack, and then brush your teeth?
Yeah.
Whenever I brush my teeth, no more food enters my mouth. Like that's just a rule. And so that's like I'm ready for bed.
You have to brush your teeth again if that happens.
Exactly, and I just
that's the rules of brushing your teeth.
Exactly, and I just don't want to do that unless you're brushing your teeth in the morning, in which the goal is to eat food immediately after you brush your teeth.
Yeah, and it ruins all the food that you eat.
Exactly. I can't drink juice anymore. I for a long time didn't brush my teeth in the morning because I just didn't have the time. I didn't think, but I started doing it recently.
I occasionally do that, and every time it's like, would that 2 minutes really have killed me? Would that have sent me over?
Exactly.
And no, it was watching YouTube in bed that sent me over.
That's exactly the point. It's like I just gotta grow up, put this in part of my routine, and boom. And so now that it's a part of my routine, I get better at it, and I'm sure my oral health is improving. But
I need some water.
Yeah, this has given me a hankering for just good old water. But now that we have a balanced diet of water and eggnog,
there we go.
Now we have the
Rule the
Perfect
world.
conditions. Yeah, we rule the world with my eggnog throne.
So overall, how would you rate eggnog?
I'm not gonna say it's perfect, and that like every time I go to the store, I'm getting eggnog today. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. I think a 7 out of 10 because I enjoy
I think
it.
that's valid. I cannot drink too much of it.
Yeah,
It gets really old really fast.
That's perfectly fair. It's
Somebody come up to the door.
No, they just walk by. I think it smells worse than it tastes.
Mm-hmm.
So if I just like don't breathe in, really hard whenever I'm about to
It's
take a
just
sip.
so sickeningly sweet,
I think it's very, very sweet. I think it's like there's no other balance of flavor. I think it is just like overdrive on the sweet
Yes,
end of
I
things.
agree. There's not much egg. There's too much nog.
There's a lot of nog. I wonder where that word comes from. On this podcast about words, kind of.
Let's look it up.
Let's go ahead and look it up. Overdrive on sweet nog. Yes. What does eggnog? Eggnog mean? Where does the nog come from?
We'll talk about that in a minute then.
Oh my goodness! I just spelled.
Is it etymology? Is that the word?
I think it's etymology or entomology. I think entomology is insects.
Maybe.
They're for words about words. They really made it very similar to another word.
That is true.
That is really weird. That brings up a good point of like
Should have been wordemology.
Who names-
But I'm not Webster.
wordemology.
I just got the new Webster dictionary app. And it's I like it because it's got... I wanted a widget that would give me a word of the day.
That's fun.
But
I might steal that from you.
it's what it means, examples, and it's the etymology of the word, if that's the correct term,
That's
of
really
like
cool.
where it developed from and where it's from, and like
That's
how
really
it developed
neat.
throughout the years in terms of its meaning and stuff.
Wow.
And also in the app, they had different games. So there's like one game that's like, is it one or two words? And it's like newspaper or a lot and stuff like that. So you have to like
Yuck.
play a game of like, is it one or two words?
Newspaper is one word. A lot is two.
Yes.
Good. I still got it. A lot, however, is also one word. Because if you're using it as the term to...
A lot, someone, something.
Yes, to distribute, then it becomes one word. I like the function of homophones. I just think they're really weird. Because do you know how many definitions there are for like certain words in the English language? The word set has like 460. Why don't we just come up with a new combination of letters? 26 squared already. And that's just
Honestly,
combining one word.
It's too late at this point. It's just what
I
it
guess
is.
it is. It's never too late. The book Frindle will prove that to you, but we've been over that on the podcast before.
Oh, I forgot about it. What was it about?
It was about a kid who invented a new word for the pen.
That's right.
Called a
Okay.
frindle.
Yep.
Yeah, check that book out if you haven't. It's kind of a fun read, and he makes the teacher feel like a piece of shit in the end. Blurp that out. Okay. Nog. Dictionary states that the term eggnog is an American term introduced in 1775, consisting of the words egg and nog, with nog meaning strong ale.
Ah, that would be why it's
So
spiked. most of the
nog,
time.
it would be why it's spiked.
I think spiked is its natural form.
That's what
actually.
I was just gonna say. I believe it initially began as a spiked drink. I think the only term that I'm going to use from now on for any strong drink is nog.
Yeah.
I think that's a really funny word.
It's like if anybody's like drinking beer or something, it's like, that's some good nog.
That's some good nog. That's wheat nog then, yeah.
Nogaholic.
Nogaholic. That's a good term. Oh, you got to get off that nog, man. It's killing you. That's really funny.
I will be calling people nogaholics from now on.
So what do you think? Do you think that's where the word noggin came from?
I
The
doubt it.
first word for an alcoholic being a noggin?
What do you mean?
Like a noggin, like your head is made of nog. A noggin is a term for your head. Like your head is made of nog. There's nothing going around in your head but nog. You think
I don't.
you could be a noggin?
I don't see the connection there really. Like I see where you're getting at. I just don't think that.
It's like concrete enough. You don't think that?
I think maybe there might be another term for nog that's more like a gourd. Would be my guess.
That
Like,
might be.
There's some sort of like round object.
Knowing the language, there's probably like 700 definitions for nog.
Yeah, and I'm sure that somewhere down the road, that's how it got connected with a head.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't see.
No, I don't know. I just think that would be. Now, here's the thing. Here's my proposal. That's the future term for an alcoholic. Is a noggin.
I like Nogaholic.
Nogaholic is good. What's it called? Like the
Wait,
public dictionary? It's like a people's dictionary. Yeah, but yeah, it's whatever.
So you had some more prompts written down.
I do have a couple.
We had
more
a lot
prompts.
of conversations that we just decided to cut off and just
save for here because it's
what
it's
do
fun.
we
Next,
the car van story.
the car van story. So this topic got brought up in the fact that we were driving and one of the left turn lights quickly changed from allowing you to turn left to not allowing you to turn left.
As they do on their typical day-to-day rotation.
As it's their job, I don't blame them, but you can get as mad as you want.
Yeah.
But it prevented us from doing that, and Keaton slowed down the car and was like, "I'm not taking risks. I'm not going to do that." And I was like, "No, that's fair. I get it, because it depends on the car that you're in and the type of people in the car, whether or not you are more inclined or less inclined to take those risks." But I almost never take those risks.
Yeah.
I don't have a car at the moment. It was a family car that we drove when I lived at my home.
Question mark?
That car is on its last working limbs. I mean, it is.
The van I drive now has almost 400,000 miles on it.
Oh my! That even beats mine. Yeah, ours just crossed the 300,000 threshold.
Yeah.
That's a nice looking van for what it has for 400,000.
Well, it's been upkept. It's just my dad is a wheelchair salesman, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
He's not like a peddler. He doesn't just like go by and like has like a.
I'm sure he does it for a career.
You
of sorts.
open it up and there's just like a row of wheelchairs,
like an unfolding pop-up book of wheelchairs. Snake oil salesman for wheelchairs.
Yeah, but no, it's like a. But anyway, he drives all the time, and he put that many miles on it in like 5 years.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, my dad is a traveling salesman. Mm-hmm. His company funds a new car every couple of years because he just runs it out of miles, and it's like, wow.
My dad found out that, I don't know, for whatever reason, it was more profitable to own his own car. I don't remember exactly why.
They probably took something out of.
But anyway, that's the car that I have now because he bought a new one.
Yeah. 400,000 miles.
No, almost.
Almost. Almost 400,000 miles is still.
It's probably like a couple 10,000 off.
That's still a lot of miles.
Like probably 360.
That's still a very a handsome sum of miles.
Oh yeah, he told me in particular not to ever accelerate for very like in a straight I have to it takes me 40 seconds to get from 20 miles to 70 miles.
Yeah, that's the same. My van's like that too, because it's just it sounds like it's about to cough and sputter and fall apart in the middle of the highway when you press the pedal to the metal.
The cartoon thing where you stop and the doors fall off or the tires fall off and the car falls down and the whole
and you sit there in the air holding the steering wheel and you're just like, oh goodness, boom.
Anyway, tell me your story.
But that van could fit 12 people in it, including the driver. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of people. I had a very large friend circle in my high school, and at one point after prom, I had the biggest car at the gathering, and we all wanted to go get food, so I drove the whole crew to Taco Bell.
Naturally.
It was me and 9 other people in the car, and I didn't even account for this. I had, up until this point, driven 1, maybe 2 people in this car at the same time.
How old were you?
I was 17.
I believe it's illegal for anyone under 18 to drive around more than 4 people.
It depends. It was, at that point, I was 6 months into having my license at least. And I think that's the cutoff. To my knowledge at the time, it was legal.
Okay.
Looking back on it, we'll find out. But I had a lot of people in the car, and there was that thought in the back of my head. Are you okay?
Yes.
That one almost took you out.
That was almost my final sentence. My final thought was about... Anyway, continue.
But, so, something I never accounted for was the weight of 9 people in a car.
That's not fair, yeah.
I felt it. Driving that car with 9 people in it was substantially more difficult than it was to drive without that much extra
I wonder
weight.
if like shuttle drivers and bus drivers and stuff feel that.
I wonder if they could feel it too. I'm sure
they do.
I'm sure they do, but I think I was so used to driving it with me alone in the car. Mm-hmm. I wonder if they're used to having people on it all the time, if they can feel it or not.
I wonder if that's why whenever there's not very many... I wonder if whenever they're going so fast into the parking lot, that's whenever there's not very many people in there.
Yeah, that would make sense. I guess they're just more comfortable with less people in the car.
I don't know.
But yeah, so I drove everyone, and it's just like on the turns, like even the lightest turn, you could just... It's gonna go. We're gonna tip, and I'm like, I was fully comfortable that we weren't, but it felt like it for a second. Like it was just like, woof. I'm not ready for 9 people in this car to be on the pavement here.
That's my biggest fear is not only my. I don't know. I'm weirdly afraid of death. Like
I get it.
It terrifies me.
I get it.
But I'm even more afraid of like causing death to other people. Because that's like it's so awful. Like
it's horrible.
It's just the end. It's just the end of them. And it's just like and everybody that loved them, and it's my fault. And
it is, and it's just like I so get it. It scares me a lot because like I think I've been a little bit desensitized to it because of like media and stuff like that. And like in movies, I watch people die all the time, but they're dying in air quotes. Mm-hmm. Like I know they're okay. I know theoretically, but in the context of the script, like that was the end of their like that was it. Mm-hmm. They're gone.
What gets me is whenever in like superhero movies, it doesn't bother me. Mm-hmm. But like if it's a superhero movie and it's like a normal dude at their job, and then like somebody gets crushed with a car.
Have you seen The Boys? I was talking to you earlier about The Boys.
Yeah.
There's a part in it where there's a hero called A-Train. He's got super speed, and
is this a spoiler for the audience?
It happens in like the first episode.
Cool.
I'm fairly it's very early on.
That's fine.
Potential spoiler for The Boys if you want to watch it, but go watch the show anyway. It's pretty good. There's a portion where a guy is holding his girlfriend's hands, and they're like having this really sweet moment, and A-Train comes by, unable to control speed, barrels through her. Like, she just explodes, and he's left there holding her hands without her attached to it.
I can't even imagine.
And then the hero just runs away, and he just sits there like in shock.
I can't even. How would you tell like her parents?
How do you tell anyone like anything ever about that? Like you can't.
You can't explain that.
It's just incomprehensible to me.
I can't even. It's just like, why are we so easy to destroy?
Right? I feel like our design is not as good as it could be.
We're not the optimal design for beings.
No, because I feel like it's because we designed all these other things that can protect us otherwise. Like we've got bulletproof vests, and we've got cars and planes and stuff. I mean, if you put a lion against a car, my money's on the car.
Yeah. But I think just as humans, we're all terrified of how fragile we are. Because
we are so fragile.
And it's like, I don't know. It's just like whenever I see my cat and he's sitting there on his little cat tree and then he does something stupid and falls off, hits the stairs and smacks his head on the floor. Then he gets up and he's fine.
Yeah, like think about that. He's on a cat tree. Cat tree, on average, how tall is your cat tree, would you say?
Probably a foot and a half shorter than me.
So that's a 4.5 foot cat tree.
Yeah.
This cat, from toe to shoulder, is probably almost a foot tall. Maybe a little bit more.
If you were to like...
If you were to like... But like just him standing there like from like at his normal eye level is probably a foot off the ground, right?
Half a foot, I would say.
Something like half a foot.
Yeah, like about that.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Okay. But this cat tree is 6 times taller than this cat is. Falling off the top of it, crumbling, and then getting back up. Imagine falling off of a 30-foot cliff and getting up.
I imagine falling off of a 10-foot cliff and getting up.
Seriously.
People almost like... But like, think about insects.
Yeah.
Whenever you see a spider fall off the ledge, it's perfectly fine and then it moves off.
I had an existential crisis about this once.
Think about how big that is in like when you think about the ratio of pretty much any other animal compared to us, it doesn't make sense.
It makes no sense. It's crazy.
It's just animals are built better.
They are, like per capita. Like cockroaches. How do they do what they do? They just don't die.
I think it even evens out because I think it's an intelligence thing.
I think that's why we design things that make us more durable.
But I mean, like, I think it's like in the hierarchy of the world, maybe we're more fragile because we're smart enough to defend against it.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I feel like
cats
it's a big
are
trope.
Cats are so stupid.
Yeah, they're just dumb.
They have to be invincible to survive.
So cats are liquid, and that's why they're liquid now. And it's just like, yeah, like those single-celled organisms or whatever. Mm-hmm. I forgot what it's called. There's a specific type of single-celled organism. Or it's maybe microscopic. It's very, very... A tardigrade. Tardigrades. They can survive everything. Like, literally everything. But they have no higher form of thought. Like, they're just... That's all they do is survive. They can survive close to the coldest temperatures known to man, the hottest temperatures known to man. They don't need oxygen for, like, literally years.
Yeah.
And it's just like... How... I guess the more durable you get, the dumber you get.
I guess.
Which applies to the human species, too.
But I wonder... Yeah, that's fair. I wonder if... there was one time that... This is unrelated to what I was going to say, but I don't know which one's more important to say. So
that's fair.
There was one time that I heard that a person who's drunk has a better chance of surviving falling off of a cliff or something.
Do you know why that is?
Because they're not tense at all.
Because they're not tense at all. They're not afraid about it.
So I've thought... There have been several times that I thought, well, if I'm drunk all the time, I'll have a better chance of surviving.
Surviving everything.
And then I realized, no, that's probably not true.
Technically, you'll have a higher chance of surviving impact.
Yeah.
but
everything else.
But you'll put yourself into more situations that you would not survive.
But my second thing was, so monkeys are the closest related to us humans, right?
Yeah, essentially.
How are they at surviving things, such as, like, if I were to drop them off of a 20-foot cliff?
I mean, they're more...
Would they be more like us and just splat? Or would they be more like a cat? And
I think the thing about monkeys is they're more resilient just because they're more muscly in general. Like, they're more dense because that's all they've ever done is... Basically, they've worked out every day of their lives. So, like, they're just more dense in that way. But not only that, like, we have the thought process of, like... My leg is broken. Mm-hmm. I shouldn't walk on it if I want it to get better.
Yeah,
they don't necessarily have that thought process. So if their leg is broken, they're going to get up and walk, but they're going to tough it out. And it's going to be like, ooh, ah, ouch, ooh, ah, ee, ooh,
why is my leg hurt?
Till it gets better.
Or until it grows all...
Yeah, till it grows all wonky, but it gets better in their brain where it stops hurting.
Yeah.
Like, I think in that regard... Technically, we have the capability to just move on. Like, if you have 6 broken ribs, you can still walk and breathe and live your life. It's just going to suck for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
But I think they just
Actually,
don't
ribs are one of the things that they don't really do anything about.
Yeah. If it depends on if they puncture something or not when you break it.
You know what I just realized?
What'd you realize?
This is the holiday episode, right?
This is the holiday episode.
We probably should have done stories from Christmas time. That would have been such an easy prompt.
What part of this show has ever made sense?
Well, do you want to do that real quick?
Yeah, let's give a little holiday story. I think it'll be a nice wrap up, little nice wrap up bit. What's something that you
don't start with me. I don't have one.
Okay, let's see. I know I have like a really, it's kind of gross.
Go ahead.
But when I was very young, I used to live in Illinois.
Yeah.
I moved there, and this was before I moved.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
I believe I've made that exact joke before.
You probably have. But when I lived there, I was very young. I think this story takes place when I was 3 or 4.
Gotcha.
It was Christmas morning, and I was just miserable. I guess I had woken up miserable, and I felt terrible and miserable. And my parents had to carry me downstairs out of bed to be there on Christmas morning. And I looked at the tree, and like my whole family sitting there, and then projectile vomited in the middle of the carpet.
You ruined Christmas.
I ruined Christmas single-handedly, and it was disgusting. And and I just remember it being just like, oh, everyone was just so horrified.
And that's so awful.
That stain was just like there, and it was the Christmas time memory of like, good job, Asa.
There's a residual stain from one time whenever my brother puked all over the floor, and it's still stained in the carpet.
Oh my gosh.
It's still, like, every time, it's in my room. Like, every time I walk up to my room, there's just a trail.
That's horrendous.
And my mom literally every month tries to get it off, and it still doesn't come off.
Just replace the carpet.
That's what they're wanting to do, but it's just, it's so much.
All right. What's your? Do you have
Gosh, I'm trying to think of a Christmas story.
I might be able to stall some time for you, but if you come up with
I've got a kind
one.
of funny one.
If it's, it could be wholesome.
My parents always try and get me something, obviously,
Ah.
but it's usually my dad. Never really know. My mom will just straight up ask me, "What do you want?" And I'll just send her an Amazon link and she'll get it.
Boom.
But my dad always tries to like think about what I want and he always gets the weirdest awful thing. Like one year he got me a geology set. Which it was kind of cool, but it was just like geodes, and I was like, I don't even know what to do with this. And so he ended up just playing with it himself.
Oh,
I felt so bad.
Oh, that's sweet though that he tries.
Then another year he got me a karaoke machine.
That's fun.
I was like, I don't like to sing, but thank you.
Hey, give it to somebody else and play with it.
Yeah.
Or I guess play along with the karaoke, and then maybe it could teach you to sing. It'll improve your singing voice.
There you go.
That'll be the dream. I know my band director had to teach himself how to sing so that he could be a band director. But
what's your other story?
I just had a funny story of when I was still in Illinois. I was still a little baby child. Mm-hmm. We went to this big sledding hill. It was notorious.
Sledding hill?
Yeah,
gotcha.
Sledding hill. Did my congestion make it sound like a weird word?
I didn't process what it was.
Yeah, but we went to this just notorious sledding hill. Everyone was here when it snowed big. And it was Illinois, so it snowed big all the time, forever and ever. But there was a sled that, those rectangular sort of sleds? Mm-hmm. I was small enough that I could just head to toe lay down in one of those. And I decided to do that. And I went down the hill. And little did I know, or anybody else really, that there was a ramp in the middle of this snowy hill that had been built by somebody who wanted a ramp. And me, little 4-year-old me, went off this ramp and flew. And my entire family just told me afterwards that they were just panicking. But that's not the worst part. The worst part is that at the bottom of the hill there was a barbed wire fence. And
I feel like you've told this story, but I don't.
I don't know if I've told this.
Anyway, the barbed wire
fence. It's quite possible. I might have told this. This might have been a really early one.
Maybe.
But yeah, if I have told it before, the gist of it is that I went right under the barbed wire fence and very deep into the woods behind this sledding hill.
Yeesh.
And then trekked my way out. But I was unharmed. I might have been harmed. I just was a resilient 4-year-old kid who's made out of rubber.
You were dumb.
I was dumb.
You were more resilient.
It comes full circle. The whole thing works.
There you go.
Would you believe
the episode's done?
I think that's perfect. I think that's a perfect end. Now let's go ahead and an outro, and we'll go ahead and do that now. Well, I hope you have a happy holiday, whatever it may be, and we'll be there with you. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride